Hello, I'm Vivian, and this is the second part of that daisy Afghan video. And I started to put them together like this. I would crochet around the edges, trying to define the petals with the greenery between. And here you can see that they all have different centers. I kind of like that. I didn't want it to be all. I've got a bag of these. There's like over 100 of them. That's pretty similar color, at least. The centers may be a little different, but they're all pretty much like this, and it's kind of blah compared to these. So I tried it like this, but it's going to end up with the same pattern. I could neaten this up, but it's going to end up with the flowers all next to each other like this. I didn't like it, so I tried this, and I'm actually, as I'm double crocheting around, I'm just kind of making this oval. I actually stitched on here, so this is all one. The green yarn is one length. I didn't cut it, but I didn't like how this was working. But I didn't like how this looked. You can see the green and then the yellow underneath. It was just, if it was green that was all the way on the bottom, then I could have tolerated that. So I tried something else. Now this is double crocheted. I went and then started going around, and I like the way the flowers, I had to sew them on, and from the back you can't really tell. I mean, if you know how to look and you know where to look, and you can see where it's attached, you can see where the yarn is, but otherwise it's when it's just laying there, it's not as obvious. But I didn't like the way this was coming out, because eventually this is going to be queen size, but in the intermediate, you know, when it's lap size, I want to be able to use it and then start, you know, doing it to where it's a twin, you know, or a little bit bigger, and then getting it to where it will cover our queen size bed. So, and this just wasn't, it just looked too holey, and I don't like it when my fingers can go through something or my toes end up going through something. I like it tight for a blanket. I do have one flower Afghan, that African violet. So I did the single stitch. I like the way this looks much better. And I wanted to show you how I was attaching. Oh goodness, where did I put that other? Just a minute. I used a much smaller needle. I used this one. This is the proper size for this gauge of yarn. And I took apart one of the flowers that was wrapped. And because I made this with a smaller needle, this head is not going to go inside these holes. And I tied it off. I brought in the piece, and I tied it, knotted it double, so it wouldn't slip out. And this tail is going to be under the flower, so it won't be seen. And what I've been doing is, this can still pull. I kind of pull it out, and then this is on the back side. This yarn does, the length of the yarn stays on the back side. So I'm here, I'm wanting to go there, so I need to go somewhere in between, and actually that'll look better. So I pull it through, okay? And here's what I've been doing. I go back into the flower, and then I'm pulling this through the flower. Okay, oops, snag that. So I'm pulling that. Now I'm going to pull on the other end and tighten this loop. See? So it's only going to go over. So now I pull this through that, okay? Now this loop is way too big for the next one. So I pull this, kind of have it you know, where it'll reach there. And now going back through. Okay, finding that yarn. So it's only moving one space over each time. You can see that one now. That's kind of obvious. But pulling that through the flower. So now that's going to come through here. See? Do you need to see it again? So on the back side, you're not going to be able to tell as obvious. I'll pull it. Oh, sorry. And now that I've gotten all 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I'm back to the start again. Oops. So now I will cut this. Got a little clumpy. And then I will tie a knot. I think I'll go to the next one. Don't pull it all the way through. Now you can use some fabric glue at this point to on that knot so it doesn't go through, or even super glue if it's not gonna. Make sure you test it on your yarn so that it doesn't interfere with the color or anything else going on with it. And I'm going to do another one. Oops, I pulled it through. So I got to pull it back. Oh well. I'm now just going to pull this. I'll pull this into the, pull this into the flower. That's it. See, now it's on there. Oops, I didn't. Oh, it's attached now. Okay, so it's got 6 points. It's okay if it's not all the way adhered. I played with, you know, tacking it down on the petals, but it's not going to make that much of a difference. I like the feel of this weave or crochet, the texture of this over this. I don't, like I said, I don't like fingers going through it. I did the same method of attaching these flowers, which I have to detach, and this is still attached to a skein. I got 2 skeins of this. I'm probably going to need, goodness, I don't even know how to calculate. I didn't, that one that I made that's almost twin bed size, almost full size. I need lots and lots of this one. So spring green, I tried dark greens and different ones, so I will finish this up. And I probably won't have part 3 for several months as I work on this, at least until it gets, well, maybe a month, when it gets to be baby blanket size. Then I'll share what's, you know, how it's looking, and I also want to do some frills, viney looking things along with some leaves maybe. We'll see. I got all sorts of grand intentions, but time and resources. So this is what I'm doing. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.